Hello and welcome to this video where we're now going to take a look at the use of the materials inside Zbrush. So by default we are given this sort of reddish brown type material, which in my personal opinion doesn't look too good. So if we were to change this, what we need to do is we need to click this material right here, and what we will be presented with is three different sections. So the first section is the quick pick, and these are materials that have already been applied or used. Below that we have the mocap materials, and these are essentially just preset materials, so things such as skin, metal, so on and so forth. And the last one is the standard materials, which are just a bunch of generic materials. Now the difference between the mocap materials and the standard materials is that the standard materials has more control over the parameters as opposed to the mocaps, which are just presets. So let's go ahead and choose, for instance, this skin-like material. And if we go to the divider here in the left and we click this, and then what we can do is we can look at the modifiers, which is going to allow us to modify this material. Now if we look at these, you can see that there is a fair few of them, but there's not as many as, say for instance, this standard material. So we'll go to the standard material and you can see there's a whole host of different materials in here. So let's just look at some of these basic parameters that you are most likely going to be using when first getting started with ZBrush. So the first one is you have the ambience. So this is going to increase or decrease the amount of ambience within the material. We have the diffusion, which is essentially how bright the diffusion is within the material. So if we increase this, we get a bright diffusion, and if we lower that, we're going to get a much darker diffusion. We have the specularity, which is how much of this specularity is going to appear on the model. So we could decrease this, and we can make this a little bit more visible by decreasing the diffusion a little. So let's increase the specular. You can see that as we increase or decrease this, we're getting different levels of specularity. We can, as you can see here, extend this and click the little point and move this around and get a custom specularity. Okay, so let's just continue all the way down. So we have translucency. If we want to add that, we can do things such as reflection. So we can click the little reflection at the bottom here, the graph, and we can increase or decrease that if we'd like. It's totally up to you, depending on what you are trying to achieve. And we can continue down here and sort of go through each and every one of these. But that's really sort of beyond the scope of this video. Now the last thing I do want to point out is how can we change the base color of this. So the way we do that is with this color swatch here. So say we wanted to have something that's maybe a little bit more towards a skin color, we need to change this color. Now what we'll see is that that doesn't update here, and if that happens to you, what you need to do is you need to go up to the top here where it says color, and you go ahead and choose this fill object. And so by doing that, we're now going to assign that color on here. And then once you've done that, that's when you're going to go back to the modifiers and sort of play around with these values to achieve the correct look. So that's the very basics of the materials. I'd like to thank you for watching, and in the next video we're going to take a look at how we can deal with poly painting. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you then.